everybody. Welcome to episode 6 of To the Window. It's your boy Chris here, hanging out with our DGen gambling expert, Jemia. Jemia, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? Beautiful time to be alive. Lots of sports this past weekend. How was MLS for you?
MLS worked out pretty good. Well, not for Atlanta United, but when it came to our discussions about how we thought the games played out, there was definitely a theme that we're going to touch on here in a second that our lovely listeners and viewers should definitely be taking advantage of going forward. So MLS worked out pretty good. Tottenham, God damn you, I will never again. I have learned a very
Well,
expensive lesson
you
because
text me, and how many people were out?
I didn't know they only had 13 fit senior players for the home game against Arsenal. And so I texted you and just said, "Welp." So it's always good
Yeah,
to go on the internet and get loud and point at people and call people out and go, Tottenham's going to shock the world. Man, no, they're not. And that's as much about Tottenham as it is about Arsenal, quite frankly. I mean, Arsenal,
yeah.
yes, they played well, but Tottenham's real bad, dude. They are really not good. So with all due respect to my friends Trey and Kyle, all you lovely Tottenham Hotspur fans out there, that is a bandwagon I'm not getting on ever again. I have learned my lesson. I went big on it on Sunday morning, fell asleep on the couch with my kid. I woke up, it was 3-1. It finished 4-1. Nah, Tottenham is hovering around the drop for a reason,
Four
and
to
that is
one.
clear. So I definitely let my emotions get the best of me. I figured Arsenal, the wheels are going to fall off. Not to say they can't, but it sure as hell wasn't going to happen against Tottenham. So I need to take a second at the beginning and just own, when it comes to the footy, MLS went real good. But, man, my one big bet for the Premier League was a massive swing and a miss. So, take the
It
good with the
happened.
bad, though, right?
Exactly. It's not like you were laying a huge money line price or a juice number. It was a unit
No.
on a plus price game.
Yes, correct. Correct.
Oh
So
no. Like
if it hits, it
shit
hits.
happens.
If it doesn't, it doesn't. It is what it is. But Tottenham, I will never make the mistake of believing in you ever again. So
Go
that was
buy somebody, Tottenham.
what about you, man? How did your weekend go? How are things looking across the board? I know we're ramping up for the big college basketball tournament here soon, but waiting back into NBA and all that stuff. How are you feeling after the last few days?
Pretty good. Like March Madness is right around the corner, and these are probably the two most bettable weeks in college basketball, besides the first month of the season. Besides November, November is insanity as far as stacking units in college basketball. If you know what you're doing, and these last 2 weeks are big time moneymakers in that you've got teams that have already played each other once, so you got the revenge factor. You
Okay.
got teams that are playing for something, teams that are playing for nothing that are awful. Um, you've got the revenge angle, and home court is so important right now. Um, I'd normally in my little handicapping model that I use home court. Usually, I give 2 to 2.5 points. I'm gonna up that to another half a point, and make it go ahead and make it three. Because we saw last night how big home court is. Uh, Houston couldn't do anything against Kansas. And the other game, Jesus Christ, I'm blanking right now. The other big game that was last night. Oh my God, who's the other big game last night? Jesus, give me one sec. Wow, that's crazy. I don't remember that. The other big game last night. My apologies, audience. Day yesterday. Doo-doo-doo. Louisville went to North Carolina and couldn't just home court, man. Home court.
Yeah.
Both home teams are dogs, and both dogs covered at home in prime time. Like it was classic. Always bet the home dog in prime time. Well, that worked out last night. Um, Today is going to be a little bit of a different day in college basketball, I think, in my opinion. And the NBA, I'm dipping my toes in there, and the props are they're coming along. Betting against this over unders are I have no idea what to do with those in the NBA. I'm not touching those. Against the spread stuff though is a little wonky. I had the Pistons last night, to be honest, against the Spurs at home, thinking they would be able to get it done, but the Spurs are just on another level, and Wemby's a goddamn animal. Fuck. He's good. He's very, very good. And fucking Popovich keeps coaching his old ass off. Like, it's pretty impressive. Cannot lie. I'm glad we got a future on them to win the whole thing because they look the part right now.
Good deal, brother. Well, to kind of set us up for today's show, we will dig in real quickly here. You kind of did a little bit of foreshadowing with the MLS, so we'll kind of dig into that quickly. Talk about what happened this weekend, some interesting events over the weekend for sure. We'll also talk a bit about the Champions League action that's going on today. We got the second round of I guess the play-in tournament, I guess you could call it, to see who's going to be able to get into those last four spots in the knockout stage. That'll be kicking off. It's about 11:45 Eastern, so that's why we're doing this a little bit early, trying to get this up online before those games start. So we got that going on. We're going to talk a little bit more about the NBA a little bit, and then talk about what direction you think college basketball is going this week. So not the world's longest pod. We're in a little bit of the calm, I think, before the storm hits over the weekend. And so let's just dive right into it, dude. Let's get into the first segment, and let's talk about MLS. And holy hell, did not expect LAFC to host Miami, the defending champs. Once I saw that game was at Olympic Stadium in LA, and they had 90,000 people out there, and it was just a giant spectacle of an event. Didn't see a second of the game. But then I wake up and I see the footage of Luis Suarez trying to contain Lionel Messi from going into the officials' locker room after the game. Brother, you have made a grave mistake in life. If a man who is known for biting other humans is the one restraining you from going into the officials' locker room. I didn't see the game. I don't know what happened. I don't know how valid it is. It's week one. Like, let it go. Obviously, Miami's going to come into form. They should be fine, right? But if you're Messi, to get this rattled over an away game against LAFC, now LAFC is going to have this in the back of their mind all year. I still believe those teams are going to see one another again. But I can guarantee you the one thing that Don Garber, the head of MLS, didn't have on his bingo card for the weekend was the greatest soccer player of all time trying to attack his referees. So absolutely insane moments there in LA. If people haven't seen the clip, go find it online. I woke up to it in a group chat, and everybody's saying the same thing we're saying, that, in 2014, you had a statistically better chance of being bitten by Luis Suarez than you did a shark. And if that is the man who is now trying to be the one holding someone back from a physical altercation, what does that even mean for MLS this year? And to be honest with you, I don't know off the top of my head. But the one thing we were spot on with, that we said either in last episode or the episode before, was regardless of the MLS game, take the over on 2.5 goals.
Free money.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hit on 9 out of 15 matches this weekend going over 2.5 goals. Early games on Saturday weren't great. The games on Sunday only had a handful of goals. Those late night, at least late night on the East Coast games on Saturday in MLS. I mean, if I go and pull these results back up, if we're looking at Saturday night, Austin, Minnesota, 2-2, Dallas, Toronto, 3-2, Houston, Chicago, 2-1, Nashville, 4. I told you keep an eye on Nashville, 4-1 over New England. LAFC, 3-0, Portland, Columbus, 3-2, San Diego, 5, Montreal, 0. Told you keep an eye on San Diego, too. And then San Jose over Kansas City, 3-0. I don't know anything about either of those teams other than San Jose signed a guy that should have been good years ago and wasn't. So
it's over 2.5. Over 2.5 goals.
It's over 2.5. This will be the auto bet until we know, and we were talking about this right before we started filming. The first few weeks of MLS are going to be weird, and teams are flying across the country, new players integrating. Preseason's always wonky over here. If there's one auto bet for now, it is the over. The winners might be hit or miss. You might see upsets happen. For now, hammer that over. Make that one of the founding pillars of bets in this podcast, is to take over 2.5 goals in MLS. So I haven't even looked to see what the matchups are on Saturday. I'm going to go take over in all of them.
Yeah,
9 out of 15, y'all.
What was it? 15 games a week, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go 9 out of 15 every week, you're going to make some money.
Yeah.
You put, if you've got $100, put $5 on each game, you've made $50, $40 to $50 for what? Nothing. It's free money we're giving you, people. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, say some weird shit, talk about my hair. I don't care.
That's
Get
true. Please do
interactive
all of
with me.
those things.
Yeah,
So
leave some comments, talk to us. Anyway, moving on from MLS, what do you like in Champions League today, considering that's about to start in about 40, 53 minutes?
we've got so I know you and I so I know that as we're, of course, now my app is timing out on me as I'm trying to
Oh, you're
record.
good,
So
yeah.
forgive me, everyone. If we are looking at Atletico Madrid and Club Bruges, I like they tied in the first leg. Second leg is at Atletico. I do like Atletico to win. I know that's only 240 on the money line is the number I'm looking at right now. Spread 1.5. I don't see Atletico covering that. Bruges has scored goals, and the last time that Atletico beat Club Bruges in a knockout fixture in the Champions League was October of 2018. So for the last 7.5 years, every result between, and they've played 4 matches, every result between those clubs has been a draw or a loss for Atletico. I think 1.5 is a very, and Atletico is a very up and down team. You don't know what you're going to get. Could they cover? Yes. Historically, does this tell me this is going to be a closer game than 1.5 suggests? Absolutely. So if you want to take Atletico 240 on the money line to win, go for it. I'm telling you, my bet is probably going to be Bruges plus 1.5. I don't think they win, but Atletico does not cover.
Yeah, I already had that one set on Bovada. Actually, here, let's do this. I'm gonna go through what
Yeah,
I have for bets. I know you have what you liked.
sure.
What about I also have on the screen. I haven't hit to place the bet, so I haven't gotten to the window with it yet. But Bruges Atletico first half under 1.5.
Yeah, totally. I could see that. I mean, I could see like a set piece goal in the like after the 30th even. I think the beginning might be pretty tight. I think that Diego Simeone's teams, they are aggressive. They can get after you, but they also have a tendency to sit back a little bit. So I could see under 1.5 in the first, and if there is a goal, it'll be a set piece goal late in the first half. Generate some momentum. The team's got to go for it in the second.
Okay. All right. Next one I've got is Bayer Lever. How do you say this? Bayer Leverkusen.
Bayer
Leverkusen.
Leverkusen and Olympiacos.
Yeah. No, I've got Bayer to score a goal in the first half. It's minus 148.
Yeah, I feel like this is probably the one that you can bet as though it's already been played, even though ironically both teams have beaten one another in this competition already this year. But historically, at least within, well, I guess, okay. The only other time these two clubs have played each other in Europe in the last 25 years was in 2002. Not a lot of history there. Leverkusen lost a lot of players in the offseason, most notably to my favorite club. Um, if I'm looking at this, I've got Bayer by half a goal. I like them to win, and I like them to cover at half a goal.
So just money line it then.
Yeah. Yeah, because if the money line is minus 125, then yeah, just go ahead and take it.
Okay. And a goal in the first half. The next one's just nuts to me. I've got Newcastle to score over 3 goals. Newcastle minus 2.5. Are they just going to boat race this team? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they are. I don't know.
Okay.
We had 7 goals in the first fixture. Newcastle by 2.5. I could also see Eddie Howe going, you know what? Let's sub Anthony Gordon. Let's sub some of our top players out. Like you're up by 5 on aggregate. This is one of those games where, admittedly, like if you have guys on the bench who need to get reps, who need to come into form, this is the kind of game that you should put those guys out there. Frankly, so could they still cover 2.5? Yeah, for sure. They definitely have the talent to do it by far. I mean, Harvey Barnes has scored a number of goals in the competition. I'm looking at who's even on the other squad. I don't know who any of these guys are.
Yeah,
I
it doesn't
mean,
matter. They're going to get killed. Like it,
yeah,
nobody cares.
yeah, they're going to get killed. I like, I like Newcastle to cover 2.5. I like the over on 3.5. Money line is minus 750 is what I'm looking at. I don't love that. But yeah, the other two, I think like Newcastle could win this like 4-1 and we just call it a day. And all the goals could come in the first half.
Yeah, we'll never tell anyone to bet a 750 money line, not even a 240 money line, unless you have an extreme edge. That's insane.
I agree.
Um, the other one is Bodo to score over a goal at plus money, plus 134. But it's one goal. If they get one, you get the push. If they get two
Yeah.
goals, you get the money. So I figure they're good for one.
Yeah, I think they're good for one. I think two is asking a lot. This game is at the San Siro. Bodo has a 3-1 lead on aggregate. Inter does have a ton of talent up front. They have to go for it. They are at home. I can see why, since you and I started talking about this game a few weeks ago, why the money has come in on Inter, because I think that the market's gotten hip to it. But Bodo's been getting sneaky results on everybody. I don't think they win today, but I think, again, a goal for them seems fair. I think the plus 1.5 spread I've got for them, I don't think Inter covers. I think they're going to go crazy going forward in the first half. The game will get tight. I can see them winning like a 3-2 or 2-1 kind of game. So Bodo gets at least a goal, but it'll come against the run of play, counterattack, Inter pours everybody forward, bing, bang, boom, get the ball in the back of the net. So, but yes, Inter wins, but they do not cover 1.5. Bodo does score a goal.
All right. Well, I'm gonna lock those in. I gotta lock them in on Bovada because they don't have them. They don't have those offered on Profit X, which is weird.
Well, that's rude. I think
Yeah,
that covers
but
everything for
over.
today. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. I'm gonna hit the over. What I'm gonna do on Profit X, where they have where we can track our bets in the Picket app.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the over 3.5 in Bodo and Inter.
Okay.
Newcastle minus. Let me see. Ugh, that sucks. Newcastle minus 2.5 plus money.
Yeah. Like,
Or are we better off taking the over 3.5 goals?
I think you take them both. I think it's, I mean, again, I think it's got like a 3-1, 4-1 kind of finish for Newcastle.
Okay. And then you said, well, isn't that a okay? There it is. Bayern minus a half, 124. All right, cool. I'll lock those in, and hopefully we'll have another. Wait, today's Tuesday, right?
Today is Tuesday.
Hopefully, I have a Tuesday like we did last week and go 5-1-1. That'd be dope.
Hey, but you know what? If you're not following us on Instagram, you didn't see the pics. So, too bad.
You
So
gotta follow that at To the Window podcast on Instagram.
you gotta like everything, subscribe to everything. I'll give you Jemiah's home address if you do it. Actually, I don't even know it, so I can't do that. But anywho, let's move on to the NBA. What are you looking at? I know you said like over-unders, you're kind of, out to lunch on right now, not loving it. So if we're looking against the spread, you said you were going to wait through Sunday to kind of see how the team's kind of reintegrated.
Yeah, and I did, and how we did was, let me pull it up because it wasn't a bad week necessarily last week. Well, no, we dropped 2.5 units. Let me see. I'm just gonna run through right quick. Props were okay. No, no, against the spread we were horrible. And then oh my gosh, yeah, no, we got hooked like 5 times. So we ended up going
Jeez.
yeah, no, we lost who who oh yeah, and I did something really bad. It was terrible. Yeah, we had Anthony Edwards over 29.5 points. He scored 28. Josh Hart over 16.5 points and assists. He had 16, not the half. Um, and Benedict Mathurin over 21.5 points. He scored 21. So we got hooked like 4 times in one day. It's great.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, but I mean that's the way it goes with props, and that's just how it goes. Against the spread, we were okay, but like I said, we went 6-8, dropped like 2.5 units. But tonight's games, I mean, I'm looking at the Suns are in trouble without Dylan Brooks and Devin Booker gone, and they got Boston coming into town.
Oh, geez.
So
What's
give
that
me,
number?
I mean, 7. And Grayson Allen's questionable too. So I mean, the Suns are just in deep trouble. They only put up 77 against Portland the other night, and they just got it was just not a good look. The
Boston
Lakers,
covers.
honestly, hmm,
So you're saying Boston covers the 7 then?
I think so, but there's something sketchy about that line.
Yeah.
That line is really sketchy.
I've
So
even
I'm,
got
I
it
don't,
at 6.5.
yeah, I don't know if I'm going to touch that. Timberwolves at Blazers, that line was at 5. It's now at 7. So probably no bet. I like the Magic at the Lakers tonight, getting 5.5, even if Suggs and Wagner are out. Um, I really like that. Again, these anything I get to the window on these picks will be in the Picket app and on our Instagram page. At To the Window podcast. Like the video, like the video, like the video. And then the props I like tonight, I like James Harden over 18.5 points. Um, there's one more. Oh, Emmanuel quickly for the Raptors. I like him over. Let me see if it's moved. It was at 16.5 points. Ooh. But it's just to the under. I'm gonna do 16.5, over 16.5 points for Emmanuel quickly. I like him to score some points against the shorthanded Thunder. And full transparency, I did a bad thing and it paid me back in kind. I did a parlay, a two-team money line parlay.
Jemia.
Yep, I did it with the Nuggets and the Cavaliers. The Cavs were playing OKC and OKC, no SGA, no Jalen Williams. They were favored by, I think the line was moved to 4. So I took them on the money line. The Nuggets were playing the Warriors with no Steph. Kuminga's here in Atlanta. I think Porzingis might have played. They were favored by 6. Both of them lost outright. So even if I wouldn't have parlayed it, I would have lost both
You were
bets
going to
anyway.
lose anyway, but
I was
yeah,
going to lose anyway. And I parlayed them just so I didn't have to lay points and get plus money on it. And it still didn't work out. This is why you don't do parlays.
this is we're
Neither
not
here nor there.
vehemently against parlays anymore. We have come down from our position on parlays, but that's a yeah, the circumstances really got to be appropriate for us to want to do it. So
It's
I
not. It's not that you parlay. It's what you parlay.
correct. Yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying.
yeah, you had one yesterday that if the books would allow it, it would have been great. And they used to, but they've gotten hip to it. The correlated ones, which like in Champions League, the Bruges plus 1.5, but then taking Inter to win or Atletico to win, sorry,
Right.
would be a phenomenal parlay. And I
Yeah.
think on Profit X they might let us do that. I'll look at it later. I'll
Yeah.
later in the show.
Okay,
You'll be
we'll
able to
talk
see
about
it.
it later. But
But but
well,
again, I did a two-team money line parlay. Both favorites lost outright to completely teams completely decimated with injury, and they both lost outright. It was amazing, and I was just like, "This is what you get. You deserve this. You deserve all of this. This is what you get." So that being said, again, go back to it tonight. I like hardening quickly over in points. Um, Oh, the Hawks are laying 13 to the Wizards. They just
what?
lost to you. They just lost to the Nets, dude. Why are they laying 13 to the Wizards? That doesn't make any sense. But what do I
Hold on.
know?
I thought we beat the Nets, or are you talking about the Wizards?
No, they're playing the Wizards tonight.
Yeah, no,
They
no, I
played
got
the
that.
they was it the Net? They were playing somebody that they lost outright to, and they shouldn't have lost, which is par for the course because they don't cover spreads because they're the Hawks. They're terrible at home. They're so much better on the road than at home, and I don't understand why. But
That's a
what
bigger
do I know?
conversation for a different time. But yeah, that's I don't see any other games really tonight, at least in the NBA, that are jumping out to me.
No,
What do you have in
nothing tonight.
college for tonight?
College basketball. These are the ones I've already gotten to the window with. Grab my
Let's
handy
go.
dandy phone. 1 second. Open. All right. Undefeated Miami, Ohio -10. I don't know what that line's at. And I bet it because it was at when I saw it, it got to 10.5. I grabbed it at 10. Um, they're playing against who's it?
They're
Eastern
playing
Michigan.
Eastern Michigan. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's great. And that line's dropped to 9.5. Cool. Screwed. Kidding. It
Right.
should be fine. It doesn't matter. Texas Tech in a huge spot. They're playing Cincinnati. Cincinnati just beat Kansas in Kansas by 28 points. Then they flew back to Kansas. I mean, back to Cincinnati. Now they got to fly out to Lubbock and play on a Tuesday night. Give me Texas Tech -6.5 all day in a spot play.
There we go.
In Indiana against Northwestern. Northwestern's hot trash. They're not hot trash. They're just not very good. Give me Indiana. I got them at 8.5. Auburn on the money line. Miami on the money line. Auburn's just praying to get an at-large bid to get into March Madness because they have the toughest non-conference strength of schedule in the country. Literally, they've had the hardest schedule in the country, and I just think Florida
Okay.
State is overrated. So I think the U gets it done tonight in Tallahassee against Florida State. And last but not least, guess who's playing basketball tonight?
Well, there's a lot of teams because there always are, but
Air motherfucking Force.
Air Force, baby. I was
Air
scrolling
Force.
through. I was hoping I would see him on the app, and I didn't. But you went in the dumpster on a Tuesday and you found some love for me. Talk to me about Air Force.
They're playing San Jose State, who is hot garbage too, but it doesn't matter to me. I will take. Give me. I got San Jose State -6.5. Um,
Let's
Air
go.
Force. I don't care. We've won 3, 4, maybe 5 games. I mean, not since we started the pod. I've been on them before that,
Right.
but I've got. I mean, they've lost. Air Force lost. I think 19 games in a row now.
I am looking this up and betting it right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, they've lost 19 or some odd games in a row now. The line might have moved to 7 on you. There's some 7.5s out there, but I'm
I
sorry.
got 6.5, so I'm about to.
Yeah, yeah, fire on it because it's gonna happen. And on a good note, we start off the show with the stuff we sucked at, which was NASCAR, all 4 drivers, whatever. Golf. I didn't even get to the window with our golf picks. It happens. But college basketball, we were 57 wins, 43 losses, and we gained 9 units in a week.
Yo, let's go.
Yep. And also, I didn't tell you this. I thought you might see it in the. I, maybe I posted on Instagram. I don't know, but I took the under 5.5 in the USA gold medal game, and that was for a couple of about 1.5 units.
We talked about that in person last week, and you were like, "No, I'm definitely going under on it."
Yeah.
Obviously, it worked out. So,
Yep, it's good stuff. But like I said, Air Force is playing basketball tonight. Bet your money on Air Force. Literally,
uh,
we're giving money on Air Force to lose and not cover. Overs in MLS. We're giving you people free money. Get to the
yeah,
window and get paid. If you see $20 on the ground, you pick it up, right? We're dropping 20s on the ground for you. Pick it up.
I literally just picked up the 20 I made on MLS this weekend and just bet it on Air Force to lose by 6.5. So I'm
There it
not even
is.
paying for my bet. So
No,
let's
and,
keep
and
going.
pay for your Uber Eats, pay for your DoorDash, little chump change money until it gets serious and you start winning big money. Woo, which this is not going to happen. This is a part-time gig, man. We're not professionals here,
No,
and we're going to fuck up and do
not
goofy
yet.
shit. Not yet,
One day
not yet, but we're getting there.
we are
But we're
6 episodes
getting there.
in. I can't believe. Hey, I can't believe nobody's sponsoring us yet.
Oh
I'm
man, I
kidding.
was looking for something laying around the house like one of my seltzers to be like sponsored by Cycling Frog, but no.
Yeah, let's not present any brands until they give us a reason to be presented. But no, Jemiah's right, y'all. I mean, we are printing money in college basketball. We're printing money in MLS. We got obviously the big college basketball tournament coming up in a few weeks. I don't know if we can even call it by name or not at this point. So
We
I'm just
can. It's
mark
March
that.
Madness. Yes, we can.
All right, fine.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
absolutely.
March Madness
Yeah,
is
I
coming
mean
up.
the only one you can't say is Super Bowl, and if they come after me, good luck.
Yeah,
Let's see what you get because I said Super Bowl. I don't give a shit. Fuck. Air Force is playing tonight. I want to put more money on it. God damn it.
I might actually end this pod and go do that.
I'm gonna go. I might not watch them lose. Watch them win fucking outright because I'm talking so much shit about the Air
If
Force
they
Academy.
win, there is no Thursday podcast. If they win, there is no Thursday podcast. There's no Friday podcast. There's going to be a moment of silence for. Actually, what it means is we'll have to go to San Diego and just yell at the boys at San Diego State or whoever the hell is playing them tonight. I already forgot
San
who I
Jose. Yeah, no, the fucking yeah, no, yeah, actually, yeah. If the Spartans of San Jose State lose to Air Force tonight, I will adopt a Vietnamese baby, one that that smokes Newports and is holding a machete.
These are very specific requests you have for your baby. Like, how
I may or may not have thought about this once or twice.
do you have like an in the Vietnamese child market? That's
No,
I'm
no, I've
concerned.
got
Our
no,
listeners should
no.
be concerned, admittedly.
That took a turn, didn't it?
Yeah, that really took a turn. I don't know. I don't know that that's the route we should go, brother.
I
I
don't
don't
want
think
to
that's
adopt
it.
a, I don't want to I don't want to adopt a kid. Come on, San Jose, just beat Air Force by 7.
Just beat Air Force because Jemiah really took this in a dark direction, and I've got to find a way
I
to
can't
put a
afford a
bow on
kid.
it.
I can't afford a kid right now. We're not adopting a Vietnamese. I have a that yeah, and now my cat's coming to attack me. I think it's because whoa, sorry.
Jemiah's going through some things, people, but what he's not going through is his hatred of Air Force, winning money on college basketball overall, betting the overs in MLS,
And
and
let me plug in these Champions League picks because we're gonna cash these tickets too.
we're taking it all to the window, baby. That's what we do
All
here.
to the window. See you guys next time. See you on Thursday.
That's it. Talk to y'all later. Bye.